Hello fellow Star Trek fans, welcome back to a brand new season of 10 Forward with me, your host Mike Overton. This time round we're going to be delving into Lower Decks Season 4. In this first episode we're looking at Episode 1, Twovix. Let's hit it. Star Trek Lower Decks returns for its 4th season, and the half-hour animated comedy wastes no time jumping back into the deep-cut Star Trek jokes we all know and love. The season premiere, Twovix, takes us to a legendary ship that our ensigns face something that threatens their very existence as lower deckers: promotion. The title of this episode hints at the theme for this week's plot and obviously jokes. If you're a Voyager fan, you'll remember the famous controversial episode Twovix, where, in my opinion, Janeway definitely murdered him, where Neelix and Tuvok are accidentally bonded into a new body thanks to a strange orchid. Captain Janeway faces difficult decisions to either allow this new entity to live or reverse the bonding and get their crewmates back. Knowing this lineage, it's a welcome surprise that Twovix, the episode, takes us to the legendary ship, the USS Voyager, as the Cerritos is tasked with escorting the now decommissioned museum ship to its new resting place on Earth. Just before Voyager starts its journey to Earth under the careful eye of its curator, the same plant that caused the Twovix trouble causes a transponder bonding between Dr. T'Ana and Andy Billups, resulting in a new life form, T'Illups. As Voyager gets it on its merry way, Captain Freeman remains on the Cerritos with this new being and investigates how Janeway handled this problem whilst in the Delta Quadrant. T'Illups does some investigating himself and does not want to be killed. To avoid suffering the same fate as Twovix, T'Illups starts taking Cerritos crew members hostage and combining them with other crew members, thus creating a crew of bonded Twovix-esque beings. Brad Boimler was hoping this escort mission would go well, as Commander Jack Ransom indicated that the ensigns would be up for promotion should the Voyager mission succeed. So Boimler isn't his nerdy, energetic self whilst aboard Voyager, and Beckett Mariner takes notice of this. Boimler's mood, even as things go haywire when a Tactacian macrovirus, the same kind seen in Macroism, wakes up from a dormant state and replicates everywhere aboard the ship. The macrovirus creates an army of holodeck minions to help take control of the ship, but things get even worse when the virus uses remnant Borg technology stored on Voyager to infect the vessel and set course towards Borg space. Boimler is seriously off his game when it comes to save Voyager and is worried about both not getting promoted and the eventual rift that will form between him and Mariner if he does get promoted. A similar situation happened to Boimler when he served aboard the Titan with Captain Riker. Moreover, Boimler doesn't think he deserves the promotion thanks to his history of bad judgment calls, like he didn't back up his friend when Mariner was marooned on Starbase 80 in trusted sources. But a motivational talk from Mariner revives his spirits, especially since Mariner reveals it was she who recommended Boimler for the promotion. That's all Boimler needed to rally his spirits and rescue the captured Sam Rutherford to ultimately save the ship and get it to Earth safely. Back aboard the Cerritos, Tindy and the Cerritos' new and Vulcan ensign T'Lyn managed to beam all the Twovix crew members to the Cerrito in a single kind of massive Twovix blob. Thanks to some wonky science, which we love, the kind of science in which Voyager often dabbled in, the pair devise a medical solution to separate those people back into their individuals. With the Cerritos crew back to normal and Voyager parked on Earth, the time has come for promotions. Boimler isn't sure if he would get this promotion due to the challenging events on this escort mission, but Commander Ransom rewards the ensign's quick thinking by granting him the promotion to Lieutenant Junior grade. Tendi is also promoted, much to her great excitement, as is T'Lyn. And finally, Mariner, of all people, gets another pip. As Ransom saw via Voyager security cameras Mariner's inspiring speech to Boimler, when the ensign was down in the dumps, and Ransom appreciated her leadership skills. The underachieving Mariner totally doesn't want the promotion, but for now, it seems to stick. Finally, as a tease of surely what's to come, Twovix ends with a quick scene showing a Klingon ship encountering a deadly alien vessel. The alien wastes no time in destroying the Klingon ship. No other information is given on what the vessel is or why it's killing with such abandon, but we'll obviously learn more as the weeks go ahead. The only part of this episode I really didn't like, and I suppose I kind of get Harry Kim vibes a little bit here, and that's the fact that Rutherford didn't get promoted. The rest of the lower decks have all been promoted. Boimler, Tindy, even T'Lyn, who hasn't been on the ship for that long, and of course Mariner, are all now Lieutenant Junior grades, and, poor Rutherford feels a little bit left out, I think. And he's sort of the only ensign now of the group. We don't know if this will change, but for now, as I said, I get Harry Kim vibes, which I suppose is a little bit fitting, bearing in mind this episode is based around Voyager, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. There are so many great parts to this episode. The first one for me is Voyager. The way that they've animated the ship looks incredible, and not just on the outside, on the inside too. Going into the cargo bay, seeing all of the Borg alcoves, they look really, really good. And and I think that makes this episode, to be fair. I think if they'd animated it and it was a bit sloppy, then I think it would have set a different tone. But yeah, the animation for Voyager is absolutely incredible. The other thing I liked here are the kind of Easter eggs and, the other bits that they brought in from Voyager episodes. The holographic minions, for example. We get Dr. Chaotica from Captain Proton. We get Michael Sullivan, who has a bit of a thing for Mariner, but still can't get over Janeway. We get to see the clown from the Thor. The model, I'm going to say, lizards, slugs, whatever you want to call them, that represent Janeway and Paris from Threshold. They're here and they get Borgified, which is quite interesting. And also bioneural circuitry, and we also get to see some Neelix cheese as well, which sounds really daft, but if you know, you know. My standout moment from this episode is the fact that I'm going to say three of the lower decks cast have been promoted from ensign, and I think this is a really smart move because we've had 3 seasons of the ensigns, bottom of the food chain, getting all the crappy jobs and just being ensigns, to be fair, and now they're being promoted to Lieutenant Junior grades. And how is that going to play with other crew members of the ship? How is that going to play with future episodes? We don't know, but I do think it's a really smart move. I can just imagine Lower Decks going on for 10 to 12 seasons, assuming Paramount doesn't cancel it, and we get to see the progression of each crew member through all of the ranks. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, my standout moment, they get promoted. So to summarise, this episode serves as Lower Decks' heartfelt tribute to Voyager, akin to Hear All, Trust Nothing, which paid homage to DS9. However, it does distinguish itself by taking a well-known Voyager storyline and expanding upon its legacy. Watching the Cerritos' crew grapple with the situation, reminiscent of Voyager's, adds a delightful layer of humour to a delicate dilemma. This blending of the Cerritos crew with Voyager's storied history is symbolised by the Macrovirus episode becoming a museum piece in Voyager's esteemed halls. Lower Decks doesn't shy away from poking fun at Janeway's controversial decision to kill Twovix. Poor Twovix. in the original episode, and the animated crew benefit from learning from Janeway's mistakes. Mike McCann clearly demonstrates his deep appreciation for Star Trek lore and his willingness to explore the morale quandaries faced by the beloved characters, all with his signature humorous touch. This episode masterfully recreates Voyager with all the meticulous attention to detail that fans have become to expect from Lower Decks. The episode brings iconic sets to life from Voyager's mess hall, regeneration chamber, engineering, bridge, astrometrics. The icing on the cake is the impressive 3D model of Voyager herself. Matching the quality to its live-action counterpart is a true labour of love. Beyond faithful set design, Twovix plays homage to Voyager by referencing various episode and elements, including Dr. Chaotica from Tom Paris's Holodeck Adventures, to Michael Sullivan from Fairhaven, to the weird, eerie clown from The Thaw. The inclusion of the model, I'm going to say slugs / geckos, lizards, whatever you want to call them, reminiscent of the infamous Threshold episode, adds a quirky touch. Additionally, Rutherford's reference to Neelix's near-disastrous macaroni and cheese mishaps is a learning curve showcasing the episode's attention to detail. The Return of Lower Decks reaffirms that Mike McCann and his team remain sharp in their ability to humorously parody the timeless Star Trek franchise. Whilst we missed seeing any Voyager cast reprisals, the episode's deep dive into Voyager's past is not only intriguing, but highlights the versatility of Lower Decks as a series. It strikes as a unique blend between irreverence and respect, making it a delightful experience for both diehard Trekkies and newcomers alike. All in all, I really loved this episode, and I really can't wait to see what happens in the rest of the season. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the first of a new season of 10 Forward with me, your host, Mike Overton. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I thoroughly enjoyed making it, and I love Lower Decks. It's just a great series, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season has for offer. Don't forget, we have got some incredible Clone Star merch available to buy. Details are on the website, and you can tune in here every week with me and Sean Ferrick with the War Room every Wednesday, or check out our website, clonestarpod.com, for fan art and blogs which are written by you, Star Trek fans. Once again, I've been your host, Mike Overton. Let's have a great weekend ahead. Live long and prosper.